Who? Linsky? Mark. Oh, perfect. Yeah, okay. On the key. How are you wearing this sweatshirt, Mike?
Because I don't have it.
Yes! Gosh. Okay, you got something for me?
Alright.
Julius, what was that? Popcorn?
Okay, I just wondered if like, you know, work.
Alright, let's talk our formula from yesterday. Okay, that was the best. Yeah.
Minus a little overall.
So we're gonna do new minus old over old. That gives us some sort of number. What do we then do with that number? So we're gonna get some sort of percent. Here we've done this formula before, yes? What was different about last night's video from what we've done before?
Didn't work.
What was different about last night's video than what we've done before?
Work for you.
First period watched it.
I even tried to get a school.
Okay, well, those of you who were able to watch the video, what was different about the video yesterday? We did also talk about some of this in class, since we started your worksheet in class before you even had to go home and do the homework, which meant you already had your
The
instructions.
growth factor.
Oh.
We needed to find a growth factor, but what did we have to do to get there?
Oh,
What are we computing?
skip it on.
Wow.
It was the number percent from one from the other.
Okay, so we did this twice. What were the two things that we did this with? Get out your assignment from yesterday that you started in class that was part of your homework to watch a video to finish, but you'd already had the instructions. Okay, what are the two things that we were computing in that first problem?
70.
The CPI, what about the CPI? So we have the relative change in CPI. What did that give us? I calculate the relative change in CPI. Absolute change is just the numerator. Absolute is just this. Okay, listen up. I am not gonna spoon feed all of this to you. Now, doing homework is gonna be a problem. You need to understand what this is. What is this actually calculating? This was the sentence. Inflation. This is inflation.
Oh.
When I do this formula with something involving maybe money or housing, what was this calculating?
Inflation.
Inflation's this part. What is this calculating? It is a cost, but how do we say what this is doing? So this is a relative change, yes?
Yes.
The relative change in CPI was our inflation. The relative change in housing cost, we use it to find our growth factor. We're looking at our equitable value, or relative value. What is the relative value of a house in San Francisco compared to a house in Spokane? Are they going to be the exact same cost? But for the value of your money in that city versus the value of that money in my city, can we say that they're comparable?
Yes.
If I say the value of the dollar for spending money in 1980 compared to the dollar of the money today, can I say what would be comparable value? So we're getting a equitable value. What is comparable? When we do this, we get some sort of number, we change it to a percent. We get our number, we change it to a percent. We get our number, we change it to a percent. What do we then do with those percents? we compare? Well, what if I have housing costs over inflation? There's not an old and a new.
Oh.
So if I have my equitable value and inflation, which one goes on the bottom? So we get an equitable value given inflation. So if I have an equitable value given inflation, this is what we call our growth factor using our terminology from geometry. Which tells me how much this grew, how many times this was compared to inflation. If it was equal to 1, the housing cost is grew 1 times the cost of inflation. What does multiplying by 1 do? It makes it the same. So did they grow at the same rate? What if the equitable cost given inflation, that's our division, what if it's less than 1? So did the housing grow faster or slower than inflation? Plus than 1. Okay, but if it's greater than 1, it's growing more. That's what we're gonna look at today. So we're gonna use an actual example that is relevant to most of you because most of you are trying to get jobs or already working. What is the federal minimum wage? Does anyone know that?
1666.
That is Washington. What is
Oh,
federal?
federal.
725. Does anyone know when that last changed?
The 80s?
No, 2009. We have not had a change in federal minimum wage since 2009, which means the most, or the lowest that a state has to pay you is $7.25. Some states have it ruled that they pay you after they count your tips. So if you make $7 in tips, they pay you $25 now. What we're gonna do today, you have a card. You are going to go and with your partner pick one of the stations around the room. Wait for you to finish instructions. I have a question involving minimum wage. You will need your growth or your CPI chart from yesterday. You're gonna compute a series of questions that actually has to do with you guys working right now to determine if you only make federal minimum wage, including the Idaho, which some of you work there, are you going to actually have a good pay? All right, so everyone know their number. One of you is going to get markers and erasers so that you guys can work together. We have a set of 3 questions you're gonna answer up on the board. I have 8 boards here. I have the whiteboard in the back and I have the board over here. So if you would rather use one of those, you are welcome to. All right, set the timer for 1 minute. Please find your partner, get your stuff, get to the board.
What number is King?
The highest number.
Yeah, we'll do black paper. Yeah.
We just choose a card.
What we just choose?
Yeah, we have the same number.
Let's go right here then.
Choose whatever.
McKenna, what number did you have? 8. Does anyone else have 8? 8 or ace?
We're gonna go to this one or no?
You're with. We have 1 number.
Are we doing the front or back?
Okay, everyone got the partner? Did you grab marker and eraser?
Go grab those.
Oh, marker. Alright, which one we doing?
All right, you may begin your problem. You have all the material that you need to answer these 3 questions.
1, 2,
The
3.
side that you need to be on if you're the hanging whiteboards, remember you face the back of the room. So you need to be on questions 4, 5, and 6.
So you put it on this?
Okay.
Use the AFMAT. Make sure you're using AFMAT markers.
Alright.
So,
So, your 3 questions are on this side. You guys stand on this side. So, where are we stuck? 'Cause we're sitting here staring.
You want us to do all?
Yep, let's start with number 4. You have all the information you need.
This?
So
Can you figure out what's
we were doing
relevant?
yesterday? So it's
What is the federal wage term? Just answer that in class.
Oh.
No, it's federal, not Washington State.
Yeah, the relative change is costs over time.
So what was the today?
oh, okay, so it's just the new one minus old.
What are you gonna do for the new minimum wage?
Wait, what is the new minimum wage?
What is the new minimum wage?
Or the federal? minimum
What
wage?
is the federal minimum wage?
It's $7 something.
Okay, so what are you gonna use for today?
Wait, no,
X.
Set up?
what was minimum?
We even talked
Oh,
about it.
2009 was last time.
Yes.
It hasn't
We just
changed.
gotta do it.
So then what are you gonna use?
725. 725.
Because it hasn't changed. Sometimes the numbers are hidden in information when it hasn't changed. Why would I keep writing it over and over?
Oh, we use this.
Right? No, okay.
So, yeah.
Well,
Do you imagine only making $1.40?
no, I couldn't.
Now, if this is new minus old over old,
This should be 140.
Oh,
but did you figure out what the relative change is? You told me what it is right now, but have you figured out the relative change? Relative sounds like a vocab.
30. 230.
Oh, no, that is zero.
I'm working on 5.
Yeah.
So you're doing some work on
I did
that.
when I told my work.
So I mean, yeah.
What?
Where did we get?
You're
I wanna use like these guys.
Eat it. Write down that.
Yeah, how did you get, well, so how did you get the 725?
You do federal minimum wage, I'm
I
doing
went.
Write down that.
Some things are tables in the real world, we don't write everything. It's not changed.
Yeah, I know.
So, relative minimum wage, relative is the new minus old.
400. So,
Okay, so the answer is this. It's 2.15.
Okay, so, why did you use 725 if in 2009, that's where it said
Okay.
725?
What is the
So when we get charts in today,
So
something hasn't changed.
or would it just be
That's one of the things that makes it really hard with doing taxes. Because if it hasn't changed in 10 years, you have to go back 10 years to find the info.
so what you got percent?
Keep going.
Or would it not?
Now I have a question. Where did we get the $1.40?
$1.40?
What year is it for?
Oh, 76, I got it. Thank you.
That'll save you a little bit of headache.
I can barely see it. I'm like, okay. Thank you.
You guys can always slide me down. So how did you figure out that number?
That's fine, we already have the formula down. Probably should use the
Where did you get your number? So what was your new for that one, for number 4?
Sweating, it's hot.
it is hard.
Okay, so are we
Fans on it,
necessarily lowered, because then we increase? This is wage growth. It grew 68.3%, so it's
I'm ready.
the original number plus 68.3%.
So the
So I'm not sure
What
that
did I,
that
how did I
makes
do the
sense.
percentage?
Because if it only grew 68% of a dollar, what is our original?
5217.
76, $2.30. You're saying you didn't even add another dollar to it. So write out your actual formula.
Just round it to 2 1.
Don't do it all in your head, write it out.